1. 1911 Canadian Silver Dollar. The 1911 Canadian Silver Dollar is the holy grail of Canadian coins. For years it held the record for the world's most valuable coin. Only 3 examples were ever struck. The bronze example and 1 silver example are housed at the Canadian Currency Museum in Ottawa, which leaves only 1 example out there for collectors. At an auction in 2003, this coin fetched nearly $1 million. Number 2. 1936 Dot Cent. Some of the most popular and collectible Canadian coins are the 1936 dot coins. The story of how they came into being involved King Edward VIII's sudden abdication in late 1936, which saw George VI ascend to the throne. That event caused a major problem for the Royal Canadian Mint, because they did not have any dies with the new king effigy on them to strike the 1937 coinage. The Mint solution was to produce a small number of 1936 coins with a tiny raised dot, just below the date to denote that they were struck in 1937. Only 3 denominations were ever struck with the dot: 25 cents, 10 cents and 1 cent pieces. The 1936 dot 1 cent coin is the rarest of them all, with only 3 mint-sate examples known to exist. 1 example sold at a 2010 coin auction for over $400,000. Number 3. 1936 dot 10 cents. The 1936 dot 10 cent piece is also extremely rare. 1 example sold at a 2010 coin auction for over $184,000. Number 4. 1969 large date 10 cents. The 1969 large date 10 cent coin is also extremely rare. From time to time they appear at auction, and fetch anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000, depending on the grade. Number 5. 1916 C Gold Sovereign. A sovereign is a British £1 gold coin that was struck at the RCM from 1908 to 1919. The 1916 C Gold Sovereign is the rarest and sells at auction anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000, depending on the grade. Number 6. 1921 50 cents. Called the King of Canadian Coins, the 1921 50-cent coin is another classic Canadian rarity. Charlton lists the original mintage of this coin at 206,398, but almost all of them were melted down because of low demand for 50-cent coins. As a result, only a handful of these coins exist, and many believe that they came from specimen sets and business strikes that were sold to visitors at the Mint in 1921. These coins in various grades can fetch anywhere from $40,000 to $250,000 at auction. Number 7. 1906 Small Crown 25 cents. The 1906 Small Crown 25-cent coin is the rarest Canadian quarter. It is believed that only 1 die was used to strike no more than 800 examples, before being replaced with a large crown die. Most of the known examples are low-grade circulated examples that are almost completely rubbed off. There are only a handful of examples that grade above a very good condition. These coins in the lowest of grades can fetch over $1,000, and in the higher grades like almost uncirculated and mint-sate can fetch well above $50,000. Number 8. 1921 5 cents. If the 1921 50-cent piece is the king of Canadian coins, then the 1921 5-cent piece is the prince of Canadian coins. In 1921 the RCM was looking to introduce a new 5-cent coin made of nickel for the 1922 coinage. In preparation for its launch, the Mint melted down its entire inventory of silver 5-cent coins, nearly all of which were 1921. As was the case with the 1921 50-cent coin, all surviving examples are believed to have come from specimen sets and business strikes that were sold to visitors at the Mint in 1921. These coins in various grades can fetch anywhere from $4,000 to $100,000. Number 9. 1948 Canadian Silver Dollar. The king of Canadian silver dollars is the 1948 silver dollar. Its listed mintage was 18,780, but only a few have survived. The story behind the low mintage of the 1948 silver dollar has to do with the independence in 1947. Prior to 1948, the obverse of Canadian coins featured the effigy of the reigning monarch with their name and royal title in a Latin inscription. Part of their royal title included the designation of Emperor of India. So, this needed to be removed from the dies to strike the 1948 coins. By the time the mint received the new dies, they were only able to produce a small quantity. These coins can be found at auction and usually sell between $1,000 and $20,000, depending on the grade. Number 10. 1947 Maple Leaf Silver Dollar. The 1947 Maple Leaf Silver Dollar shares its history with the 1948 Silver Dollar. As the RCM awaited new dies to strike the 1948 coins, they used the 1947 dies to fulfill existing demand. In similar fashion to the 1936 dot coins, the mint placed a tiny maple leaf next to the date on the coins to signify that they were struck in 1948. The listed mintage for these coins is 21,135, but it is also a rare silver dollar. It can fetch anywhere from $300 to $10,000 at auction, depending on
weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are. Don't lose your head or your heart. I bet my life on your stars. You'll be dancing, dancing on the moon.